What's going on, guys? It's your channel TFD back with another video, and this one is wild. Sophie Cunningham finally speaks out about joining the Indiana Fever. In a brand new interview, Sophie Cunningham opens up about her attempt to recruit Caitlin Clark during the All-Star game and shares all the behind-the-scenes details. WNBA star Sophie Cunningham sits down with Jillian to share all things WNBA, including her recent trade to the Indiana Fever. Cunningham is the highest selected. With all that being said, Sophie Cunningham is definitely a top fan favorite. People know her competitive fire for. She's known for having a competitive fire that's followed her since college. Some even call her Spicy Sophie One. She's the enforcer who isn't going to take a lot of stuff. She just dropped a new interview, kind of breaking her silence about being in Phoenix and potentially playing behind Diana Taurasi for so many years. In the past, Taurasi gave Cunningham advice about remaining true to herself. It's a really interesting interview. I'm happy we got Sophie Cunningham because I believe she's finally going to get her due and show what she can truly do. We already know she's one of the best shooters in the league, hands down. Not too many people can mess with Sophie Cunningham from three. I'm going to keep it real with you. She's been described by Diana Taurasi as someone who likes to muck it up. With all that being said, I'm done talking. Let's get ready to react to some of this interview because it is a long one. Let's pull it up right now and see what new Indian roosters say.
I think when it comes to who inspired me, I do think that it was my mom and my aunt, my grandma. They're just strong, powerful females who have made a huge impact on, raising other strong, powerful females in the world. And I think that was a huge inspiration. But honestly, there's just not a lot of people who are pros who were able to maybe give these girls here in the Midwest a platform. And so that's I had no one really to look up to when it came to professional basketball or professional sports here in the Midwest. And so I always just knew that I wanted to be that somebody. And so once I put my mind to something, I kind of do it. And so that's really where my inspiration, awesome feeling, because at that point, it wasn't about me. Like, I was representing my family. I was representing the University of Missouri, the Midwest. Like, it was just cool. Like, I don't know why I'm the one that got to do it, but I just I was representing a lot of people who have the same values and work ethic as myself. And so I will say, everyone thinks it's always rainbows and butterflies at the professional level, but that high school to college jump is hard. That college to the pro world is even harder. It's even tougher. And so there's a lot of ups and downs the first couple of years. And then, some injuries happen. I was Diana Taurasi's sub for like 2 or 3 years. And she's like the go. And I was like, oh, great. And I was like, all right, can you retire so I can get some PT? But I learned so much. But to be honest, I just think it's a great career change for him because of the system I'm going to be in. Okay. Like, I don't even think I've even hit even close to my potential yet. So I just think there's so much left in my tank, and that's what excites me the most.
Well, it's incredible. And we can't talk about, again, 6 years in one place. You did so much. You set a record 17 consecutive games with at least 2 3-pointers. Mm-hmm. What? And not to mention, in your last year alone, 40 appearances, 21 starts, 8.4 points average, 37.8% on the 3-pointer. And you did this with a pretty debilitating injury.
Yeah.
So,
that was rough.
Talk about your collarbone, because you really didn't talk about it too much in the midst of it.
I didn't. I wanted to kind of keep it hidden. It was my shooting shoulder, and that there's players on your team. Like, I had 4 Olympians on my team, and so my role was not to be necessarily a scorer.
WNBA All-Star Game.
Oh, this is a good clip, okay? I was like, where is she going with this?
Now, another Indiana Fever player, soon to be teammate, Caitlin Clark, have you heard of her? You happened to have a little interaction with her, and it was said that you were potentially asking her to come to Phoenix.
I totally was.
And maybe the joke was on us, because maybe she was asking you to come to the Fever?
No, maybe I just put an atmosphere and it happened. But how funny is that? Like, I never really even saw myself leaving Phoenix. It was my new home away from home. I have a great off-court situation. I've built a lot of fun relationships out there. And yeah, I was like, hey, what do we need? No, come on, out of here, how do you get out of here? But it's funny now that, I told the people upstairs, I was like, I will be her Sabrina Carpenter any day to her Taylor Swift. Like, I am so excited for this. And I just think, honestly, she's just a great human too. She has a lot of pressure and a lot of eyes on her shoulders, and she handles it so gracefully, and she's just a great human. So I'm just excited to be a part of something like that. And she passes the ball, which I enjoy.
And she's already said the same thing about Caitlin in other interviews too. She's been praising Caitlin's game for a while now, so this isn't anything new. Sophie knows exactly what kind of superstar Caitlin is. And now they're about to team up with Caitlin and make some serious noise in the WNBA.
I think that she's a gem. I didn't know her, but All-Star Weekend, we kind of bantered back and forth a little bit. And she's lovely. She has a lot of pressure on her shoulders. And I think a lot of people always have a lot to say with people they don't even know or shoes they've never been in. And for me, I think she's handling the pressure very well. She's doing a lot of great things for women's basketball. And I'm a fan. Like, I would love to play with her one day, for real.
Sophie Cunningham is a huge fan of Caitlin Clark. No secret about it. She's always admired Caitlin's game. And now, instead of recruiting her to Phoenix, Sophie is the one making the move to Indiana. And she's going to be a massive piece in the Fever's push for the WNBA Finals. Sophie Cunningham is already one of the best shooters in the league, and pairing her with Caitlin Clark, who's on her way to becoming the greatest shooter of all time, is going to be absolutely lethal. These two are about to be raining threes from Pluto. We thought the Golden State Warriors with Steph Curry and Klay Thompson were unreal. The Fever might just take it to another level. Even DeWanna Bonner can let it fly from deep. This team is built to light it up from beyond the arc.
I think the way that you approach that, and I've heard you multiple times compliment that 2024 rookie class.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about how you feel the game has evolved. We saw a lot of eyes on the W in 2020. Yes, that rookie class is a part of it.
Yeah.
Not the only piece of it. But just about the evolution, because you've been a part of it from.
Yeah. It's a fun time to be a part of the W, honestly. Like, I think that rookie class that everyone's talking about is, and I understand both sides of it, and I've said this in other interviews too, where it's like, there's been trailblazers that they didn't get paid what they got paid, or they didn't have the attention, but the talent has always been there. And so I think that is kind of where the miseducation with a lot of new fans kind of happened, that like, oh, she's the GOAT already. And it's like, actually, she'll probably be that one day, but right now, maybe not. But the attention she's bringing is exactly what everyone should want. Like, you were a trailblazer for this to happen. So it was a matter of time of who. And so I'm for it. I think that class, not only her, but you have Cameron Brink, you have Angel Reese, really those three, they just have a lot of eyes and a lot of followers. And to me, it's kind of like duh, because when you put women's sports on TV, people watch.
Thank you.
And so that is like my biggest thing. And it's not, I think that is us pushing it. And then after that, we'll opt out again and do something different. And so it takes a village. It takes people to support, people like you who want to put women's sports out on your podcast. So it takes a village. It takes everybody.
And I think it's just that consistency, like you said, like when the product is seen.
Yes.
It's when people have invested in women's sports, it's never been about investment. We've seen it across different leagues.
Yeah.
I love that you lean into that.
And you know what's funny about that too is like, you have men, you have boys, you have people who have never even gone to a basketball game before. And once they come to a WNBA game, they are obsessed, like obsessed. And it's like, you just got to get them in the stands, or you just got to put it on TV. And then I don't know why, but people fall in love with it. And so
it's an amazing product.
It is. I know why. I wasn't going to say that, but you said it.
And then again, like we saw something this offseason spark amazing attention, unrivaled.
Yes.
So this 5-on-5 league, 8 weeks. Talk to us about that. Is that something, obviously you were injured.
Yeah.
And so an off season for you was very different. Yeah. Is that something you'd be interested in?
Yeah.
You see benefits?
Yeah, 1,000%. I think that just the more eyes and the more that people get to learn and care about the people who are playing in the leagues, then they're followers, and then they want to know what we're all doing. And so I did get asked to be a part of it.
Okay.
I respectfully declined it just because I also do broadcasting for the Sun.
Right.
And so the money situation, I'm making more doing broadcasting than that right now.
And that is the piece right there, I think, Sophie, of women's sports.
Yeah.
Is you are balancing and this salary versus that salary. And I think that is very relevant to bring up.
Yep.
And we didn't even chat about analyst role, which I think is incredible.
Yeah.
But continue. I'm sorry to cut you off.
No,
there.
you're good. You're good. Because I just think, it's all about opportunity, right? And I think not just only myself, but a lot of us women are actually getting our foot in the door with broadcasting. Like, I know we are girls and our game's a little bit different than the men, but we're still high IQ. We know the game. I think it's good to put those people in those positions. But Unrivaled has been amazing. I think I will be a part of it maybe in the next couple of years. So I mean, I am excited about that, but I don't know. I'm happy with what I'm doing right now. I need to get healed up a little bit, but those girls are holding it down and they're doing a great job. So
So that was a little bit of Sophie Cunningham's interview. You guys can check out the full interview in its entirety. I'll have it pinned in the description. If you made this far, don't forget to like and subscribe for daily update.